Booktube, it's Louise, the big head bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day, wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're up to. Hello, hello. I'm hoping this isn't going to be a long one. I'm hoping it isn't going to be a long one. I thought a cat came in then, but it didn't. So yeah, hey, how you doing? It's Friday Reads. It's Friday Reads. It's Friday Reads. I'm here on a Friday. It's Friday Reads. Hello. What's this? Fourth week running? Yay. Doing well. I half recorded a video of rearranging my Agatha Christie collection shelves, and I'm going to have to work on my skills with a Z. Going to have to work on my skills. It was so bad. It was so bad. For anybody that watches like little vlogs or kind of the B-roll that people shoot, that kind of fills up a video and gives you a taste of the life. I was so bad at it. I tried to do this really artistic shot of lighting a candle, because I always like have a candle lit downstairs or something like that, you know, because I'm that kind of girl. And I tried, oh my lordy, I lit the candle and I was holding the camera. And when I watched it back, I'd have had to give everybody anti-motion sickness pills, because it was as though I was trying to record it on the high seas. It was awful. It made me laugh so much. I didn't realise it. And then I was watching back how me rearranging my shelves, which I was not going to talk over or anything like that. I was just going to do kind of a little montage. And I had inadvertently press slow-mo. So you got me slowly rearranging my shelves. Oh, dearie me. That made me laugh. That made me laugh. It was worth doing for the laughter, to be honest. So I've got some upskilling to do, but hey, that's okay. That's okay. So I'm here with Friday Reads. I have. Do we have any laundry news? We had the heat wave. Having a heat wave, tropical heat wave. Sorry. Having a heat wave, really, really hot. Managed to do, did we get to the bottom of the laundry basket? If we didn't, we were close. I mean, we got to the lower level of clothes from the kind of strata of the teenager's room. So we did so well. By we, I mean mainly the husband, but there was, I think I hung out some washing, did some pegging out, which was great. But we got to the lower strata. So, you know, you go down kind of like weeks worth. You never fully get to the floor, but we got close to the floor. So that was counted as a win. So that was good. So we got that. And then this last 4 days, we've just had rain coming through. So it's that kind of sprint laundry is what we've been experiencing. We haven't been having the long distance laundry. We've been having sprint laundry, because it is warm enough to dry on the line, but you're going to have to be quick. You're going to have to get in there at the right time, the right place, and you're just going to have to get in there, and you've got to always be prepared for one of you going, "It's raining," and running out the room. We did manage to do some the other day and get it in time. And actually the rain came a little bit later. Whoa, it was dramatic when it came. But it was a thunderstorm, slightly going off topic, but it was a thunderstorm that came at the right time, the appropriate time for a thunderstorm, which was kind of 25 minutes before you were actually going to go to bed, you know, so you could go upstairs. And so I was already upstairs, and the husband came upstairs and said, switch the light out, so that we could, and it was right in front of the house. So it was lovely. We could lie there and just watch the thunderstorm. It was like, you know, it was appropriately timed and placed. When does that happen for a thunderstorm? It was lovely. Thunderstorm and proper fork lightning. So you got the dramatic across the sky. You go, ooh, like that. It's great. I think also we got the sheet lighting as well, but it was really lovely. Yeah, so that was great. That was great. Obviously not if you were in it. If you were in it, sorry about that. If you weren't in it, it was great to watch. Next day, everybody said at work, oh, did you hear the thunderstorm? Because it was at the right time. It was at the right time, friends. So, yeah, so if we could organise that weather. We've had some great squalls today where the rain just lashes against the window for about 5 minutes and then wanders off. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so no laundry for today in that way. And then parish notices. There isn't anything going on this week. We've got the lull before the kind of fetes, summer fairs, barbecue evenings, and before that stacks up. So we've got that short lull before we get to anything. So there are no particular. What did I say? I did see that there was a parish barbecue being advertised, but I know no more than that. I just saw it advertised and I thought, must keep an eye out for that. Must keep an eye out for the parish barbecue, because where's it going to be? Where's it going to be, friends? We don't have a church in the village. No. So where will they choose? Will we just go to somebody's very large garden? I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know once further deets comes out. I'll cue you in. So that was parish notices. So I'm going to show you some of the books that I have finished. I've had a good week this week for reading. I've listened to 2 audiobooks, neither of them very long. This is a quick sidetrack. Oh, you can. I just realised I haven't been looking in the thing that shows me what's recording. I am currently finishing off something which I started in, you get it, October, because I'm not sure about the colours. I got a set to do this. It's a mystery. Don't do that, Louise. It's a mystery that really distracted me. A mystery knit-along. So you get clues over 6 weeks and you end up with this. And I got so far with it. And I think I knit to about there. I've also knitted its legs. So it's got legs somewhere. It's a knitted gnome, not a crocheted one. I'm quicker at crochet, but that's its legs. So yeah, so it will actually end up having legs. And a beard, I think it's got a beard. So yeah, so I had knitted up to about here on it, and so I finished it off today, and I don't think I have put nearly enough stuffing in, so it's a bit baggy. It's kind of wrinkled, so it's a wrinkled gourd. I'm not sure about the hat. I'm not. Maybe it's the books that I've been reading recently, or not. But I'm not sure about the hat. It looks... Yeah. Anyway. You'd think that would be orange, but I follow the colours of the pack exact, and I don't know whether I should have done, and whether or not I should have just thought, no, I want the actual main body to be pumpkin, and then I don't think either would have rescued it. Anyway, so I'm not sure about this one. Anyway, maybe it will not look so bad once it's got its beard on, she says. Stop fondling it. Yeah, so that's let's move that there. You can see where my mind went. Anyway, I've been listening to audiobooks which have had nothing to do with that. So I've listened to 2 audiobooks and I've finished 1 book with my eyes. This is the thing about people trying to read so many books a year. So if you remember, I read a book called Alchemized, which was 1,000 pages. That's 1 book. And then one of the audiobooks that I listened to which was a Patricia Wentworth, The Clock Strikes Midnight. Suddenly I couldn't remember its name. The Clock Strikes Midnight. That was only like 6.5 hours, 7 hours long, which over a week is easy to accompany. You can easily crack through that if you're somebody that listens to audiobooks a lot, which I do. So that's the thing, is that is it the number of books you read, or is it the quality of books you read? Is it the amount you enjoy and the amount you get out of them? It's the last bit, surely. So whenever anybody puts a target together, maybe this is a me thing, but when everybody has a target together and says I'm going to read, 50 books this year, I think, yeah, is it going to be 50 big books, or is it going to be 50 slim pamphlets? both are justified. Both are as good. Neither one nor the other. You could read 3 books in a year, and if you enjoyed those 3 books in the year, then class yourself as a reader, and I'm here for that. It always strikes me. Soapbox. Let's just leap off that, shall we? Yeah. So ignore me on that one. So yeah. So I listened to The Clock Strikes Midnight by Patricia Wentworth, read by Diana Bishop. I'd listened to it about 4 years ago when I went through a real stage. I was actually decorating the lounge, and so I was spending hours decorating on my own. The husband was away. I didn't have a car, so I wasn't working, and so I thought I'll decorate the lounge, as you do. And I got into listening to Patricia Wentworth whilst decorating. It was very, very therapeutic. It became a real thing for me. And yeah, so I listened to them then. And this was like kind of my second or third Patricia Wentworth that I listened to during that period. I didn't rate it particularly highly at the time. I thought it was slow, and I didn't enjoy it as much as some of the previous ones. Revisiting it, I could remember who the murderer was, and I could remember virtually the plot. There was one sideline, there was one other bit to the plot that I had forgotten. I listened to it again. You'd think, why would you listen to it as you didn't really enjoy it so much? I listened to it again because there was one particular relationship I remembered about it, and I remembered it being well done or not well done, and I couldn't remember whether it was well done or not well done. And so I had been thinking about it. Sorry, I can feel this touching me. Stop it, you saucy thing. So I thought it was in my mind, and I kept musing about it. If I do that, if I get a kind of relationship or a point of a book that's in my mind, I normally have to read the book. There's something that's drawing me towards it. So it was this particular relationship. I had completely forgotten there was another romantic relationship in the book. So that was a fun thing. It was better the second time I listened to it. There was more nuance in it. What else would I say about it? Traditional Patricia Wentworth, it's set in 1941. I like reading books that are written at that time and set in the the kind of the current day of the time it's written, because you get the social history, so you get the food that they're eating, and you get the thoughts, and you get the idea of the coupons, and it's not said in a performative manner. It is in a way that, of course, we all understand the meaning of somebody giving up their coupons for a present for you, what that would have actually meant. So you had clothing coupons when it was rationed, because fabric was rationed, because production of fabric was decreased, so they rationed the fabrics, if I understand that correctly. And that's actually from my mum and dad talking about it, because they both lived through the Second World War and rationing. And so I picked up stuff over the time. And when giving up your clothing rations to either make somebody a present or to give them your coupons because they were having a child was something, because you were basically foregoing any new clothes. So I thought that it was the fact that it was mentioned, but it wasn't dwelt upon. It was just mentioned. It was just part and parcel of what life is, and that you would understand the significance of that. So I enjoy that kind of social history that you get from reading books that were written at the time for that audience. So that was it. It was written in 1991, and there was that kind of sense of what the blackout is and what have you. The Clock Strikes Midnight, which is a great title. It's a murder mystery, as I say. It's a country house murder mystery. So there's again the small cast of characters and what you would imagine. So I enjoyed it. It was good. It was a good one to listen to. Very comforting. I find these things comforting. That's a dark cloud. That's a cloud with something on its mind I can see coming this way. We're going to maybe have another squall. That'll be fun. The other audiobook is now. This is a feast for your eyes, friends. A feast for your eyes. Oh, yes, it's one of my Fontana editions, but I'd actually listened to it in audio. I got this book from Vinted, I think. Well, maybe eBay, but I think it's Vinted. Sparkling Cyanide. That's what I listened to. So I listened to the Audible edition read by, and his name has just dropped out of my ears, David Suchet, and him. Anyway, so it's read by one of the actors who plays Captain Hastings. I cannot remember his name. That's dismaying because I adore the gentleman. Bear with, I will find it because I'm not going to be able to cope. No, continue the download and open the flipping thing. No, continue the download. Just play. I'm pressing the wrong thing.
This is Audible.
Thank you.
Sparkling.
Hugh Fraser. As soon as I heard his voice, I knew it. Hugh Fraser. So I listened to Sparkling Cyanide by Agatha Christie, read by Hugh Fraser, who is Captain Hastings in the ITV productions of Poirot. There we go. Got there in the end. This is a Colonel Race mystery, should you be interested. So Rosemary Barton has a glass of champagne, sparkling champagne, toast, drinks it back, cyanide in it at a gathering. A year later, the same people are gathered together, apart from Rosemary. And it's all about that. It's all about, did she commit suicide in a very dramatic fashion, or was it in fact murder? So yeah, that's what it was. So this is it. Yeah, gorgeous cover. There's always that bit of blood. There's always that bit of it's just glorious. I have recently found out that these editions, these Fontana editions, are called the Foxtail editions because the G in Agatha, if you can see the G in Agatha, is done as a foxtail. Isn't that gorgeous? So I love these even more. So these were from 1980 to about 1988, published by HarperCollins under the imprint Fontana, and it's now raining outside. There we go. So I listened to that. So this was about a 7-hour listen. I remembered it. And again, I listened to this because of I had a memory of watching it in an edition from the 80s, I think it must have been. And I thought, I haven't listened to this in ages or read it in ages. I didn't actually have a copy other than this one. This one is in beautiful condition and it doesn't feel like it's been particularly read. So I think I lucked out when I got this edition. So yeah, that was it. So I listened to that. It was glorious. So those were the two audiobooks. The book I read, was it The Beheading Game, which I said I was going to read next, or was it Mate by Ali Hazelwood? Can you guess which one it was? Can you? Yeah. So previous week I had read Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and then I had ordered, the day I finished it, which I think is I read this in a day, I then ordered this to come the following day. It came the following day. It took me about a day and a half, 2 days not picking it up, and really not picking it up. I was like, I'm not picking it up, I'm not picking it up, I'm not picking it up, and then I picked it up. And I flew through it. I read it in a day. They're just great books. I preferred marginally preferred Bride. These are romance, fantasy, vampire, werewolf, human books. In this one, Misery, the main character, who is a vampire, has a wonderful, sarcastic, quick-witted, no-nonsense, clever attitude, and the discourse is just top stuff. In this one, it was the relationship between the two of them, between the two characters, these two characters, that really hit the spot. So in this one, it was very much her. In this one, it's very much the relationship. It still had that quick-witted, excellent, witty repertoire banter between them, which it was just a joy to read, that kind of thing. I think the plot was slightly better in this one, only slightly. So out of the two of them, I preferred Bride. I still would highly recommend this one. Read it after this one, definitely. So it's a duology. I don't think, it doesn't sound like there's any more planned, that it's actually just these two. I also still prefer this cover to that cover. That's just a lovely cover. So yeah, there's nothing more really to say about that. Everything I said about that, I was as good with that. So really pleased that I read them. Really pleased that I've got them. Will be reading them again at some point. They're great fun. I can see that going on my roster. I can see it going on my roster of books to pick up that you just want an easy read, a comforting read. It's going to be spending time with characters that you like. I can see that going on my roster for that. This is the next one that I have got in the series. This is the one that I dug out of my bookcase, and I shall be reading this within the next couple of weeks because I'm going to have another little fix of Ali Hazelwood. This is the TikTok sensation. This is not fantasy in any way, shape or form. This is from her. She did a series of 3 books of romance in STEM, STEM, as in, science, technology, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so it's all to do with grumpy meets sunshine. It's one of those tropes, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to reading that. That's on my list of things to read. I just thought I'd show you. That cover does nothing for me. Does nout for me. Should you be wanting to know how I feel about that cover? So what am I reading at the moment, friends? What am I reading at the moment? I am reading The Beheading Game, which is Anne Boleyn wakes up after her execution and sets out on revenge. So that was a random read. This is a random pickup from a roundup email from Penguin Random House. I have no idea why I'm on that particular newsletter that gets sent out on that mailing list. I must have clicked a link at some point, but there I am on it. So this is it. Disgrace, beheaded, and out for revenge. Magic, romance, revenge, and an utterly irresistible heroine was the quote. I am 98 pages in. Oh, is that the husband coming home? Yes, that is the husband coming home, but maybe he won't come upstairs. Yeah. So, 98 pages. I started reading this yesterday. I'm a quick reader, so don't, judge the fact I'm 98 pages in. I'm a quick reader. What am I, as you can tell, I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it. I think I had such high expectations. I had really high expectations for this book. I came in with my high expectations, and I should have checked my expectations at the door. That is what we should all do. Okay. When we get books like this, we should check it at the door. We should hand our coat in and then say, is there any chance I can put my expectations here as well? And I say, do you want it on the same coat hanger as you, is it okay if they go on the same coat hanger? And you go, yeah. So it gives you them your expectations. Because as everything that I read had said, kind of magic and revenge, and I'm not getting that at all, which is weird from a book that starts off with her waking up in her coffin. You would think that it would be, how how do you deal with a character waking up after a beheading? You know, how do you deal with that? And from the first chapter, I have been slightly on the back foot from it because it hasn't been magical for me. Now, I wasn't looking for kind of crazy magic and what have you, but it's very much she gets out carrying her head, is obviously a bit disconcerted. Is obviously, you know, is a bit disconcerted. Emphasis on the a bit. Is a little perturbed, a little surprised. Eventually makes her way, steals, you know, needle and thread. This all happens right at the beginning of the book. I'm not, there are no spoilers in this. And sews her head back on. In fact, I think in the dust jacket, it actually says about her sewing her head back on. And then the only thing that she's really worried about is covering the scar. So she's not worried about the fact that she's woken up after being beheaded. Would that, and I couldn't work out what it was that I couldn't work out what it was that had put me so far on the back foot with this book. Obviously, Rebecca Lehmann adores the Tudor period. Obviously, she's very much into her history. She knows everything about it. She's going to tell you all about it. She is a student of history, capital S, capital H. And you are going to be told all the things that she has learned. She has studied this time, friends. So there is that. There is that. And I don't get the feeling that a lot of it, that bit, is made up. I get the feeling that she's going, look at all the stuff I've learned. I'm going to tell you that. It's fine. I can cope with that kind of stuff. I couldn't work out what it was that was making me so disconcerted and perturbed. I felt perturbed, and that's not a good feeling. Who wants to feel perturbed? Nobody. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, do you know what I'm hoping for today? I'm hoping that I have a good feeling of perturbed. Nobody. And why did I feel like this? And about 3/4 of an hour, like a thunderbolt out of the blue, like a thunderbolt from that big cloud out there, it said, she was really religious. You know, Anne Boleyn was known for being religious. And she had prayer books and yes, she was, you know, they got rid of the Catholic Church so that he could marry her because he was, you know, just wanted to have sex with her and she wouldn't let him do the final act. And so they got married and you know, we know that story. But there really was still a strong religion. There was a real strong belief in the afterlife. There was a real strong belief in the power of God. And yet, she wakes up from being deaded, and there's nothing about the fact that she died. Big thing. There was nothing about the fact she died and was resurrected. Nothing. Do you not think that would be something that if somebody was religious and no kind of, what did she see? What didn't she see? This is a real faith thing. No, she sews her head back on. She shows phenomenal skills in sorting herself out. Oh yeah, she doesn't quite do one or two bits right, but majority of it she does brilliantly. And then we go on into Tudor life with great big dollops of history lesson thrown in there. And I'm like, it all feels not right. I just think, you know, they're kind of like, and Anne herself hasn't got a strong enough character. They're telling me an awful lot about Anne, but I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing her voice strong enough. I'm hearing, you know, lots of stuff about her having a barbed tongue, about the fact that she was a really strong lady, and yet she's not showing that. Showing that in actions, but she's not showing that with how she isn't showing it in actions. Actually, no, you're wrong, Louise. She's not showing it in actions. She's kind of telling me about this woman is this kind of, you know, strong woman and just wants to be treated the same as men and wants to have the same respect and wants to have the same power or similar power, wants to have status and authority. That's what they're talking about. And yet I don't hear it in her voice with her interactions with people. And you would have thought that would still be there if they're saying that she's still the same person. So there are bits in it there. I think there are things in it that I'm really kind of struggling with. However, once I start reading it, it's very easy to read from stop leaning against my throat. Once I start reading it, it is fine, and I get into it, and I get into the kind of the flow of it. So I shall carry on reading it. It is. I'm going to unclip that so that it doesn't keep rubbing against my throat in an affectionate fashion that frankly is wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on reading it. I am at least a quarter of the way through. I think it's I'm on 98 and it's like just over 300 pages. So I'm just under a third through it. And so a couple of days I will have finished it and I'll come back and hopefully I'll be able to say to you, do you know, it got so much better and it's in my top 10 books of the year. Says nothing. Gives you a look. Anyway, I honestly think that would be in my top 10 books of the year. As much as anything for the unexpected joy that it has given me and how much I like the cover. So here we are. I didn't do this last week and I regretted not doing this. The obligatory. I mean, am I actually on Booktube if I don't show you a little stack of books? Put this down for a second. Yeah, there we go. That'll be the thumbnail. No, I won't do that. There we go. There we go, friends. So my lovely stack of books. 3 finished, 1 started. We'll see where we go. I will show you what this looks like once it's got its beard and its legs on. And maybe it won't look as bad as it currently does. Not sure about that either. Yeah, there we go, friends. Hope you have a good week. I'll get back to you about the parish barbecue, when and where that's going to be, especially as we don't have a village hall. Yeah. She'll keep an eye on that. She'll keep an eye on the notices and I'll get back to you in case you were waiting. This has been lovely, Booktube. Let's do this again. Bye.